Hello everyone, this is Chris Grove, one of your VizBi conference Blender tutorial instructors. Monica and I wanted to get you started with Blender before the conference just to cover the basics of installation of Blender 2.5, the Blender 2.5 interface, and some of its basic functionality. If you have any questions or concerns as you go through this process, please feel free to email Monica or myself at our respective email addresses. So let's get started. Okay, so go ahead and direct your web browser to the Blender website at www.blender.org. If you haven't already downloaded Blender 2.56, we're going to run through that right now. So go ahead and click on the Downloads link, and then click on Get 2.56 Beta. Go ahead and select the version that is most suitable for your computer and platform. Download it and go ahead and install it on your machine. Okay, so just to reiterate, feel free to email me or Monica if you have any trouble getting Blender installed on your computer. Once you have installed Blender 2.56, go ahead and open it up. What you first should see is this splash screen here, or something like it, indicating the current version of Blender that we are now working with. To get rid of the splash screen, just click anywhere inside the application and it should disappear, and you'll be left with what you now see as the default setup of the Blender interface, with a 3D viewport window with our default cube, camera, and lamp, and a handful of other windows which we'll explain later. So there are a number of important user preferences that we may like to set before continuing, particularly if you're working on a laptop or with a mouse with less than 3 buttons. So to open up the user preferences, we click on this little icon down here in the lower left corner of the 3D view window, and this pulls up the various window options or editor types. And we can go right up here to User Preferences, click on that. Then we want to click on the Input menu option. Now if you're currently working with a mouse with fewer than 3 buttons, I would highly suggest that you click on the Emulate 3-button mouse option here. What this allows you to do is to mimic a 3-button mouse with some keystroke and mouse click combinations, which we'll explain a little later. Next, if you're working on a smaller keyboard that does not have a numpad, like a laptop, click on the Emulate Numpad option. This gives us the ability to control our 3D view with the numbers at the top of our keyboard. Now, one last option that I like to set if I don't have a numpad is the Center View to Cursor shortcut key. This can be found by expanding the 3D view and the subsequent 3D view global menus. So we actually want to click on the Edit button above all these options. We want to come down to the Center View to Cursor option, and where it says Control Numpad Dot, click inside, and we want to assign it a new shortcut key, and so we'll press Control and C, and we should get our new shortcut key here for a function that I find indispensable while working in 3D. Okay, so that's going to be the wrap up of the first tutorial. The next tutorial will go into basic functions of working in 3D and get you started with your first renders.